Hey, supplemental math families. I'm Michael Lazzarini. If I haven't had the chance to meet you face to face yet, I'm your child's supplemental math teacher. One way that I am trying to support your child in our supplemental math class at this time is through an intentional approach of increasing their confidence with their fact fluency with multiplication facts. I know I've spoken to a number of you already on your concerns about that or your questions related to memorizing or knowing mathematic multiplication facts. And as I've shared with students, there are a number of different approaches these days towards, or philosophies or beliefs on how students should learn multiplication. Similar to the debates that used to exist and mildly in some parts still do about how to teach reading, there's a dichotomy between this idea that students only have to do blunt force straight memorization of all their facts. And on the other side, you have this idea that straight memorization is really challenging for a lot of people. And if we immerse them and through repetition use the facts a lot, they will gradually pick them up in a less stressful manner. And like with most things, there's a middle path. There's a happy medium between the two. And we're at a point in fifth grade math, in their other math class, I believe, that we are seeing the hurdles that come with not knowing our more simple multiplication facts because they impede our ability to demonstrate mastery on greater concepts. That's to say that many of them took a quiz or an assessment with their other math teachers on multi-digit multiplication, where you are having to add zero as a placeholder or where you're using the box or area model. And many of them, from what I can tell, know the systematic approach, but they feel very overwhelmed or they make small errors in the process to getting the greater product because of errors or second guessing themselves in the smaller steps of multiplying single digits by other digits. Because that was observed, I am taking out of my metaphorical backpack of tools one of my favorite approaches and techniques that has been widely appreciated by a number of students, of which I've both witnessed experience and practice this with, that actually come from two doctors, Mr. and Mrs. Dr. Flessner out of Butler University. I'll disclaim that this is a abridged version of their approach. I'm not about to try to paraphrase or misinform or portray myself as though I am accurately reflecting all of the nuance of this approach, but I am using and encouraging them to use what I refer to as the Flessner model of fact memorization. I wanted to show you what that looks like and include you to partner with us so that they can feel the same support. Quite simply put, we pre-test. I've, over the past couple of days, when time allows, been taking students one at a time and asking them kind of a scattered range of multiplication questions from 1 times 1 to 12 times 12. In OneNote, I have been highlighting or crossing off the facts or even rows and columns at a time that students already seem to have mastered and are able to give me fairly quickly. It's important because I was this kid that we don't need to know them immediately. While some people do, and some people feel that you must be able to immediately recite multiplication facts, it's okay if it takes a couple seconds, but we still want to be able to encourage students to feel confident in their answer relatively quickly. So the guideline that I try to use is between 3 to 5 seconds. That's okay if they're thinking in their minds mentally of a base fact that they know. For example, I don't know 4 times 6, but I know 4 times 5, and then bouncing from there. But we want to try to have that process down to a point of about 3 to 5 seconds. After I've pre-tested them, I take the facts that either they were unsure of or took a long time to recall, and I'm highlighting them so that we can choose 5 at a time. For many students, choosing facts all at once seems daunting. I know it did to me when I was a student. Believe it or not, as much as I am a math teacher, math was my most challenging subject growing up and kind of still is. Although just because something, and we talk about in class, just because something may be your weakest subject does not mean that it has to be weak. And we want to grow our confidence and our skills across the board because we know that we can do hard things. So by taking 5 facts at a time, that gives students a lot of autonomy and choice over saying what 5 facts they want to really focus on studying. And then periodically, every day, every other day, maybe every 3 days, I intend in class to individually check in, kind of like a mini conference with them again, and ask them those 5 facts and see where we're at with them. If they have all 5 of those mastered, great. We cross those off, highlight them, and then we pick 5 replacement facts. We repeat that cycle until all of the facts that we identified as ones we wanted to brush up on are mastered. If, let's say, we have 3 of them down, but not quite 2 of them, well, then we're going to pick 3 replacement facts and keep those 2 other facts so that we're always studying 5 at a time. That is our goal. And that autonomy of choice for students also to be in charge, to be able to be the ones that direct which 5 they're focused on, as long as they eventually all get picked, really helps students to feel like this is a much more manageable task too. I am doing all this through Microsoft OneNote, and your child should know how to access this to follow along, but I wanted to quickly show that to you, and I'm going to try to go quickly because this video is turning out to be much longer than I intended it to be, and I want to be respectful of your time. So if I share my screen, there we go, my entire screen, boom. I can click into my ZCS portal, which is where your student would be able to access with their school credentials. They'll then log into Microsoft 365. And when they log in here, they will then want to be able to click into OneNote. For me, I click the bottom 3 buttons here, and I'm able to press this purple OneNote icon. Once students press there, they will likely see all of their notebooks. They may at one point only see one, and they can click into it. And from there, they can also toggle between different notebooks for different classes that they have. I'm going to go ahead and directly click into Supplemental Math 5, Lazzarini 2022. And this will allow me to see my teacher-only information, but I can also see all of student notebooks as well. If I were to click into an example student and click into class activities, I've not yet pre-assessed the student I'm looking at, so I'm not revealing anything. They'll see a page that's titled multiplication facts. Here's where you'll see I am currently using blue highlighter and then a red pen to box or to make pop the facts that we're trying to work on. And I'll write off to the side the 3 facts they've chosen at a time. This is where they can see, and you can see their progress as well if you have them show it to you, and where they can remind themselves what facts they're supposed to be focused on for this week or for that time frame as well. Please feel free to let me know if you have any questions. I'll say I am not in the practice of assigning homework, quote unquote, for supplemental math, but I am encouraging students that reviewing these facts should be something they can build into their own routine. It doesn't need to be timely. It doesn't need to be stressful, but an example I'm giving to them is, what if when brushing your teeth, you just got in the habit of saying your facts to yourself, or you had a note card by your sink, or some type of small repeated pattern like that with just 5 facts at a time is going to have them know these facts in no time. I'm sure of it. And please let me know if you have any questions. I look forward to continuing to partner with you, and sorry that this video turned out to be so long. Thanks so much and have a great day. Bye.